Hi and welcome to another Odyssey tip of the week. Today I'm going to be showing you one of the more well-known tricks of the controller trade, but it's still nevertheless really handy to know. So you should, if you're a controller, know that the first move in each controller tree casts power over time. That gives you a lightning bolt at the top, and the power over time gives you a tick of power each every 5 seconds. I'm just kind of burning my bar here so that it doesn't go up. And you can see as the ticks go by, eventually on the last tick, the bolt will go away at the top left. And if you recast immediately, you get another tick really quickly in succession. The trick to double ticking is that if you recast early, you don't get that extra tick. So I can keep recasting, and all I'm doing is wasting power. That's because I'm casting it too early before the power over time's worn off. However, you can recast it early after 20 seconds of power over time being up. Now normally it'll last 25 seconds and then the bolt will go away. But the trick to the double tick is to do it the one before that. So I'll just wait for this one to wear off, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So you have your 0 tick there, or your first tick as it were, and that's your next tick there, so that's 2. That's the third tick. And the fourth tick. If you recast after that 5th tick there, you get an extra tick which you should have seen. So the difficult thing about pulling off the double tick is actually doing it in combat when you're trying to pay attention to other things. There's a number of different ways you can do this. The first is obviously just to count the ticks. So you cast it, and I count that as the 0 tick, so I count 4 after that. So that'll be your first one. And you just count through them as you're doing other things. And you just have to pay attention, so you know that, okay, that's 3, so the next one's going to be 4, and you're going to cast it after that and get the double tick. But again, that can be really difficult in combat, so other methods are using specific powers or abilities to act as timers for it. Knowing the cooldowns on various of your various powers that you have on your loadout, if you cast those immediately afterwards, then you can use those as a guide. So there's a couple of different ones. For instance, shield. There's a couple of shield moves in the various controller trees that have the exact right cooldown. So for instance, in Quantum, you've got the time bubble that you can use as a timer, and the cooldown on that is 20 seconds. So just as soon as that comes off its cooldown, you know to cast it again. There's a couple of other ones as well. I think Distracting Grandeur and Gadgets and Mental both work with the same cooldown. As you can see there, that was the double tick pulled off. Another method is to use something like Warped Reality from the Quantum tree, which has got not quite the right length of cooldown. As I'll show you, it's only got a 15-second cooldown, so the trick to that is to cast your power over time and then wait for the next tick. So you would do your combo or whatever, and when you see the next tick, then you cast your Warped Reality, and that way when that comes off cooldown, you'll cast again, and then you have to wait 1 tick and cast Warped Reality. It's not as easy as the shield method, but you can make it work. So another method is just to count the number of instant powers you can give in between, which in some cases this might be all you're doing anyway, and that way it can give you a nice easy way of telling. The last method of successfully pulling off the double tick is to simply cast your power over time move every single time the numbers pop up. Now the reason this works is because casting power over time resets the buff duration the full 25 seconds, but it does not reset the counter for how soon your next double tick should come. So if you do this every 5 seconds, if you cast your power over time, then every 20 seconds you'll be guaranteed to get your double tick, as you should be able to see here. The downside to that method is that it's a waste of power. You're spending power casting power over time that you could be spending, giving to your team or doing crowd control or shielding or any of these other things, and all you're doing is using it to cast power over time. But if you find that you're unable to keep it going without doing this, and you're pretty much guaranteed to keep power over time up all of the time if doing this, then it's definitely an option you can go for. Thanks for watching.